Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're making a guide on Summoner's Glory, a beginner's guide. So if you're new to my channel, first of all I have to do the shameless self-promotion. If you want to create a character, use the code JOHN. It works, well, it would be there. It works on any of the servers, and you get a free champion, you get free summoning books. It will help you as a beginner, which this guide is for. So yeah, and it can even be a guide for general people as well. It depends on how far they are. So I wrote a few things down on a notepad, and I'll try and explain a little bit. I wrote a few keywords because my memory kind of sucks, like what am I supposed to do? But yeah, first of all, this champion has three types of champions, right? It should be A and S and SS. So yeah, the best type of champion is obviously SS. As you can see, when you've pulled a lot, you will get a lot of good champions. And what champions is good and what not, we can also go over. Just so you know which champions are good. And also, it's very important as a new player. Obviously, in the beginning, you will have to work with S champions, but get to SS as soon as possible. I would not put a lot of effort into champions, I wouldn't put a lot of effort into S champions. I would wait to get my summoning books to get SS champions. So first of all, I suppose we're going to go over which champions I think is fair and I think has potential. So let's see here. Archmage Merlin, wherever, isn't he there? No, that's Merlin. He can do damage. I haven't used him though, but he can do damage, just saying. And let's see here. Anyone else here which I deem good? I don't really deem anyone here good. But even if you have one of the champions at an SS form, it doesn't mean they're trash. They're good. They're better than an S champion in general. So make sure to obviously focus on them, but I would not focus on them beyond Evolution 3. Because you can like transfer evolution level with some item and transfer it to a better champion once you have that. So I wouldn't evolve anyone I don't myself at least deem good beyond Evolution 3. Unless you want to do some creative stuff, which obviously could be fun. And I think Archmage Merlin, the guy with the white beard and stuff like that, could do some good stuff. But yeah, that's the only one there. Ankaris is amazing. She's an amazing damage dealer. She's definitely worth evolving up there. Synchrodancer at the moment is the best damage dealer in the game. So if you get her, she's incredible. Her corporate skill is insane. I would put a lot of focus onto her, and we'll come back to more about Synchrodancer later. But she's the best damage champion in the game. Ankaris is also insane, and you can get that if you begin to pay to the game. Every $100 you get a copy. If you pay $900, you can fully max her. But obviously, if you don't want to pay, it's fine. You can get her free to play from just being lucky as well. So it's not the end of the world. And she's not like super duper vital, like there are, like if you have a Synchrodancer, you don't need Ankaris pretty much, or Ankaris is not as important rather. Then we also have Lord of Shadows, which is an incredible champion. The rest here, I haven't seen much in practice, so I wouldn't really advise building any of them, at least be above Evolution 3. Then we have, okay, I only scrolled one page, right? Okay. Then we have Zeus. He can be very good. I actually wouldn't mind. Like, you can probably make him above Evolution 3. Like, Zeus can do very well. Sadly though, I've not seen anyone focus too much on him, but I think Zeus has a big potential, especially with his Paralyze. Paralyze makes people take way more damage. As for the rest of the champions here, I wouldn't really focus too much. I wouldn't focus on them above Evolution 3. Jester is very good. He can actually be focused above Evolution 3 if you really wanted to. And I would probably prioritize Dracula Eye above him though, which we haven't gotten to Dracula Eye yet, but I would probably focus on Dracula Eye before above Jester. But if you don't have Dracula Eye, then Jester is a very good choice. Jester in general is a very good choice. He can also be in place of, if you don't have Haley, he can be there. So Jester is a very good champion. He's definitely worth evolving above Evolution 3. But don't be too sad if you want to use him as an evolution material later on to evolve someone better, even higher. Like I've used an Evolution 5 SS Haley to evolve one of my champions higher, and I don't regret it. But need to make sure it's a better champion. You need to make sure that it's the thing you want, pretty much. Skill Phantoms, obviously very fun. The blacked out champions, we're not going to really go over, I suppose. Puppeteer is an amazing champion. She's the only champion who can revive people. She's definitely worth evolving beyond Evolution 3. She can also tank very heavily. Her base stats is pretty high. Her multipliers is incredible. She's a nice champion. And yeah, so let's now look at the Dracula. He's got a good potential. He can also do a lot of AoE damage and stuff like that. So he's definitely also a champion that you can evolve higher, but I haven't seen anyone use him properly, so I wouldn't be able to say too much. Lunar Goddess, I don't know whether she's worth above Evolution 3. I wouldn't say so, but she's good early game. She can make you survive a bit longer, so nice. Then we just have no one here truly amazing. No one here. Dracula is amazing. Mystic can just help your main do more crits with something which we can talk about later. Hailey is an amazing champion. She's incredible. And I've heard good things about Bloody Overlord being very tanky and stuff, but I haven't played around with them. But I think they're probably worth above Evolution 3. Sea Conqueror is amazing. Definitely worth above Evolution 3. Sea Conqueror doing a lot of damage, Terminator manipulation or attack bar. And here, Goddess Zoe, I think is black in there. I haven't seen too much with her, so I wouldn't say if she was worth above Evolution 3, but she probably is. And then obviously we have Victoria, which I probably would say also is worth above Evolution 3. So there we go with that. So just a little bit. And how you upgrade skills in this game is that you can feed a duplicate SS champion into an SS champion, obviously, which is a dupe. So let's say you have two SS Zeus. Then you can feed one of the SS Zeuses into the... Why did I use Zeus in this thing? Anyway, then you can upgrade him and he will have a 100% chance to upgrade his skill. If you have an S version of Zeus feeding into an SS version, you will have a 10% chance. And yeah, so... But an A will not really give any chance to upgrade skills. So let's see. What's very important early on is that you find people who may be strong, like me or someone else, and you ask them to join in Crystal Forge as an example. So let's head over to Team Instances, Crystal Forge. Let's just walk over there let's just teleport over there real quickly, I guess. So then we'll see a little bit. So Crystal Forge hard mode is actually possible for people like me to carry anyone. You can be a level 1 and I can carry you and you will get 4-star gear. And 4-star gear is actually quite incredible compared to 2-star gear. So I don't have any 2-star gear on me, but let us head over to let us teleport a little bit over to, I suppose the first one would be Witch's Swamp. Yeah, so let's look here. Like this is 1600 attack, but that's not a big deal, right? The big deal is obviously like we can make this as an example. Like this gives 6,000 health, right? 6,000, wow, 6k health, 4k health, then 3,700 health versus Witch Swamp, which gives like wait, sorry, I'm stupid, sorry. There we go. So then we can head over here and then we can look 137k health, 132k health. So this can make your main character carry you for a while, to say the least. You will become incredibly strong and incredibly tanky. And the best set, in my opinion, it shouldn't matter though if you have to choose between a 4-star of a bad set compared to a good set of 2-star. Always choose 4-star when it comes to that. But the best set, in my opinion, is the tight set. It will increase your crit damage on everyone, so that's kind of fun. And the best weapon, at least for progressing, would be an Ice Dragon Saber. For farming in general, though, Scarlet Saber, and Scarlet Saber can apply way more debuffs. And we will get a little bit over to that now. So let's look. So with this, you can have many random stats. or extra stats rather. You can have up to 3 per item, and it's random whether you get it or not. So here I have 3 extra stats. It could have been 1, could have been 3. The best extra stat to go for is speed. The second best goes between a lot of different things. It goes between when dealing damage, there's a chance to paralyze the target. And then you can also have when dealing damage, there's a chance to freeze the target. When dealing damage, there's a chance to stun the target. And so on and so forth. And obviously enchantment energy will also be useful for you, but it's not a top priority. But like just doing as many debuffs as possible and having that on the set will be nice. And when dealing damage, chance to freeze the target. And I do believe these stack. So if you had 12% across the board, you would have like an 80+% chance to apply that debuff with the AoE, which Scarlet Saber gives. So it's either Scarlet Saber or Ice Dragon Saber. Ice Dragon Saber is probably best for progressing. It has an incredible turn meter manipulation, or attack bar, manipulation, and it does amazing freezing for many turns. So yes, Ice Dragon Saber is probably the best for in general progression, but Scarlet for farming / maybe even PvP, but I wouldn't say PvP is too important. So how to get diamonds? The best way to get diamonds is doing the daily quests. If you click over here, let's just teleport over, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Where will we TP to? Yeah, we will TP right to him. So this guy will give, I think, for like 160. I think he gives like 220 or even more. Like he gives at least over 200 diamonds every single day, and you can do it every single day. The difficulty will scale with where you are on your main story. And the same can be said for warrants, which is also a very important thing. Because in this game, there's only 2 battles where you cannot be carried. Like, I can carry a level 1, probably to almost... I can carry a level 1 to where they're stuck at some point far into the quests here. Or far into the story, I should say. And then they have to do a battle here and a battle like over here manually or alone. And then the middle one we can then help again. But yeah, so pretty much... a good way to do this is, say someone is following you. After a while in the story, you will be told cannot do in a squad. You can still do it if you walk up manually to the person. You can disband squad, then teleport to the location, then make squad and make the invite again, and then do the battle and talk manually. Just a little bit of a trick right there, I guess. Yeah, but anyway, the difficulty of warrants, daily quests, will scale based on where you are on your story. So you do not want to be carried too hard, because if you want to do your warrants every single day, which is probably a good advice to say, you should do that. I don't really do that too much right now. But in general, you should do that, and that scales on which map you are on the story. So say you're at Witch Swamp, you will probably be in that location with warrants. Say you're in Sea King's Tomb, you will probably be on the water part of the thingy, and if you're in Crystal Forge, you will probably have warrants in that map. So you have to make sure that you're able to beat the basic simple monsters in the map where you can enter a Crystal Forge. Then you're probably fine to be carried to story to like finish Crystal Forge, which leads me to another point. You should probably find a good guild. You should find a guild, which the main guild in the server, there's 100 spaces, so they most likely have a space for you. If not, then you can join the second strongest guild or whatever. And there's usually a lot of people online who's willing to help. So it's always very important to ask stronger people, especially when you're early, to ask, hey, could you help me a few runs in the Crystal Forge hard mode? Hard mode is important because that gives you a chance to get legendary ones. And that's the only one which works, actually. It doesn't work on normal mode to be carried, because your story is usually intertwined or whatever. So that's very important. And another point to also make there is that if you head over to then guild, you can go over to quests, and you can go over to personal quests, and you can also do these every single day, and you can be carried. Obviously, there's a lot of maps here which you can TP to, can't TP to, so you should join a stronger player who also has it as a task, such as myself, as an example, to be able to join it. And then you will get 100, 200, 250 extra diamonds per day, which means you will probably get over in total from just playing on daily without even having any like gift rebate cards. You will get over 500 diamonds every single day. And obviously another thing to advise, if you have the money to it, but it's not a necessity, you can also do like a diamond permanent gift and summoning book permanent gift. But it's obviously not really required. And but if you do want to spend, the permanent gifts are the best way to go about it. An epic book every day and stuff like that. So it's not bad, I guess, but it's not a must. Let's see here. What not to do? Yes, what you don't want to do. What was it I wanted to say you don't want to do? You don't want to sacrifice SS champions in the sacrifice unless you like. I would keep at least 2 copies of every SS champion. Obviously the good ones I would keep way more copies of and use the skills. Yes. Now I remember what not to do. Do not spend diamonds on expediting these elemental towers and the Phantom Abode. Do not even grind Phantom Abode. Just do it for the quest and for the book of making all the stars happen. But here you can send and use Vigor to do this, but do not spend diamonds like I have on expediting it. Another good way to get those evolution materials very quickly is to just use a Scarlet Saber, a 4-star Scarlet Saber, do level 1, do it manually, it takes around like 15 to 20 seconds. This gives the same amount of chance to get anything, except for obviously the few extra leveling materials or whatever, than the level 10. The only difference for the most part is just the essence you get. So you will struggle a little bit more with essence. You will struggle a little bit more with essence, I guess, with doing this. But this is a nice way to just efficiently farm the level ones if you have the essence. So yeah, another good thing I suppose during the weekends, Lord of Essence, you should get far there and do that. But as you can see, it's only in the weekends for some reason. But you get 1400 essence at level 10 there, which is kind of nice. It's double essence of 140k for 400 runs. You can do max 80, but still it's not bad at all. So yeah, and what not to do, probably don't focus on, well, I suppose you can level up any kind of runes, like you can level up common runes because you can just feed them again to stronger runes. That's not a big deal. So let's now talk about runes, what the best runes are. So it really varies from champion to champion, and usually if you're in a big guild, you can just ask them, what's the best runes for this and this champion? And many people have different opinions. Some people are saying this Squall runes is best for her, and they may be right. And then some people are saying maybe just a lot of even more health on her is best. And then some people can say different things about different champions. But this gives you an idea. I really enjoy for Secret Dancer. She doesn't really have to be too quick because she's doing her corporate all the time. So you can just use 4 Squall and 2 Harvest. Obviously 2 Harvest is very important for the crit rate, no matter which set you're using. But yeah, and then obviously with the support champions and the attack bar champions, you do kind of want to make them quick, which is why I have 4 Harvest, which gives a lot of speed onto her. And so yeah, attack bar manipulators should probably have a good amount of speed. Obviously then hopefully a good amount of health moving along with it and all that stuff, a good attack, crit rate, you know the drill. And yeah, but a lot of people will also be kind of like, what's the best stats? And I do say universally, I think crit rate is better than crit damage. You can get either crit damage or crit rate as the base stats on this one. On this type, it doesn't matter, like it can be any type, like it's just crit rate in general, see? And this one you can either get physical or magical defense percentage or physical or magical defense not percentage. It's advised to go for the percentage because that usually will help you more the more stats you have, which you will hopefully have at some point. And the best extra stats for, like, let's say a hitter like this is crit rate, crit damage, somewhat speed but not so much speed. Crit rate is the most important thing to make high. So crit rate is an incredibly important thing to focus. If you can get crit damage alongside that and physical attack, if it's a physical attacker, which you can see here, the better it is. the best stats for this one is it can either give health percentage or health not percentage. Health percentage is by far the best. And yeah, you just have to, if you don't have like crit rate, like if, as you can see here, I made up with it a little bit with a lot of speed, a lot of physical attacks, some crit damage. So yeah, it's just a puzzling game with extra stats. Obviously, you will not look at these extra stats when they're level 1 because they will not be fully upgraded. It can only be one extra stat. But I do think that if you have a low level, like level 1 epic or level 1 legendary rather, which has like, let's see if I have one. Let's just see if I have one real quickly. This one as an example. This one can only get one more extra stat, which means at +3 it will get that final extra stat, and from +3 to +6 it will strengthen whichever. +6 to +9 it will strengthen, +9 to +12 it will strengthen, and +12 to +15 it will strengthen. So it's not a bad idea to, if you're happy with the 3 extra stats or whatever, the 3 extra stats or even 4. Then it's definitely valuable because then it will always, if it's 4 extra stats initially, then it will always just improve upon those. So if you have like extra stats such as what would be most ideal on Secret Answer would probably be crit rate, crit damage, attack and health, and that would be on a level 1, then it would be very ideal to upgrade it a lot because then it will only strengthen those extra stats because those are all it can have. Obviously speed is the only one here, so speed is obviously the best. Here, accuracy I think is the best. It depends on the champion if they apply debuffs or not. If they don't apply any debuffs or do anything like that, resistance is fine, but accuracy is generally kind of fine. And when we look here, physical attack percentage or magical attack percentage is possible, or physical or magical attack non-percentage. The percentage is obviously the best. Just a note there as well, and you can always work on the extra stats is very important, I guess. And then you also have Amity. You remember to do this on your strongest champion. At some point you will have 5 stars and it will just increase their stats a lot. So do this every day. It gets around 50 or something every day, and you need 2400 to max it fully, I believe. So yeah, it just takes a little bit over a month, I think, for free. You can also pay for it. It costs, I think, over 10,000 diamonds if you want to do that. If you're a whale, I suppose you can do that. It depends on on how you're playing. And let's see here. The best way to earn gold. Yes, this is very important because you will need tens of millions, even later game, hundreds of millions, even billions of gold. Billions is far though. Like that's a lot of +15s. Like that's a lot of champions with full legendary +15. So don't worry about billions, but at least millions, I should say. Then you head over to activity. Here's all your things. You go over to adventure. Every other day Rich Goblins is around. I think in the weekends it's on all the time, or at least on Sundays or something. And you do the Rich Goblins at whatever level fits you the best. You do not care about Goblin Trove here. That's useless for you. So you do only care about Rich Goblins. And this is the best way to make gold. And you can even auto-click it. Just set up an auto-clicker to repeat a battle. Use 1000 vigor or whatever. You will get a lot of gold. Like I think around 1500 vigor on me doing this on Rich Goblins 3 is around 20 million gold. So it's quite a lot. Considering that vigor can almost be used just for 2 marks of this, which isn't terribly too much as it stands right now, which it has to be buffed in my opinion. But anyway. What to do with epic books? Once you're here, you can summon an epic book. It will spawn a big circle with a plus, 4 pluses around you. You want people to join you in that because that increases your base chances. I think it goes from 14% chance to get a legend, an SS champion, to 16%, to 18%, and then to 20%. So I think from having 0 people helping you to having 4 people helping you, it makes it from 14 to 20% chance of getting an SS champion, which is what makes epic books different from these ones. And once every 300 summonings, not 300 of this, like 300 champions in general. An epic book gives you 6 champions. Every 300 you do get you get crystals, and you can use those to buy good champions. And I would recommend, if you haven't gotten Secret Answer, I would get her first. Then I would choose Puppeteer. Because the Secret Answer is just such a carry right now. But hopefully, if you're lucky as I am, you will have a lot of Secret Answers in those 900 gold book plus pulls. It does not increase with silver books. What is when crystals on? What is not important? At the moment, as I'm recording this video in the end of February 2021, arena is not too important. Obviously, every season you will get, like every week you will get more and more glory and stuff, but it's not super important. Enchantment, that's awesome, right? That's awesome, but it's like, it's not super important in my opinion. You can also get King Arthur shards and stuff like that from being high up there, but I don't think arena is very important. That's all I'll say about that. Enchantments. What you're looking for is Mars Defense. That's an amazing one. Absorbing Light is an amazing one. Titanic Might is an amazing one. You will obviously learn about all of this when you unlock it, and it will go through the guide for you. Curse of the Dead I've seen used a lot by one strong player here, so maybe that could be useful. I haven't used it. Divine Judgment can also be insanely useful, especially if you're against very high level health enemies. Also, Raging Fury is kind of amazing. I haven't gotten that yet. But yeah, just a little bit over what's good and what not. And I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. And if you have any more questions about the game in general, once you're in that guild or just in the server, always feel free to ask in the world chat or the guild chat, whichever server, whichever guild you're in. So usually people will answer, and if not, you can try later. And even if not, then you can probably Google it or whatever, or just ask some. Like, you will always get the answer if you're persistent enough, I guess. I would not advise. Well, I guess I kinda do advise a little bit very early on. Harvest will not be really able to be gotten from Phantom Abode, so I would definitely, very very early game, purchase Harvesting Seer just to get the set. There's many. This here offers all the different sets of gear. I think it does. So yeah, you can purchase some of the sets that is that's here, I suppose. I'm a hypocrite. I did purchase a legendary one, and I was incredibly lucky. It's 1.7 million gold, and it gave me crit rate as the main stat. But you shouldn't count on RNGs, and I probably wouldn't advise buying above epic tier. And I would honestly advise not even buying epic tier, just rare tier. But even epic tier is fine. Epic tier is not the end of the world, but it's don't spend like hundreds of millions of gold in here. Just do it very initially if you need some gear and you have gotten it from rich goblins and stuff like that, not goblin trove. And so yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I don't think there is anything else that I can think about right now. Just play and have fun, I guess. And yeah, that should be it. Make sure to do your guide thing. You can duel people, you can upgrade rune. It's not difficult if you set your mind to do 270 a day, even without paying. It's just, it's not too difficult. But yeah, that's it. Also, you have like a lot of guides here, I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't advise farming instances on your own at a low level. I wouldn't advise farming Witch Swamp when you can get a high level player to help you with Crystal Forge hard mode. Because 4-star gear is, as you saw, 20 times, like it's a ridiculous amount of, it's probably closer to 20 times stronger than 2-star gear. So there's no sense in farming 2-star gear. And I think I've covered Scarlet Saber, Ice Dragon Saber, and yeah, no other weapon right now unless they rebalance it. But as of this time, that's how it is. You should always spend a diamond a day getting a gold book. Backpack expander is kind of whatever. Daily vigor is actually not a terrible idea if you have the money to do it, but it's not too important. And I wouldn't spend essence buying these champions. Skins, it's kind of for vanity. It doesn't really do anything. And Yeah, I think I wouldn't spend things here either. I actually did this by when I was a noob, so don't do that. The best things out of Glory would buy only enchantment gift for the blue ones and only epic books for the orange ones or whatever, the gold ones. Blacksmith, I wouldn't really spend anything here. And also for what the best thing to spend your diamonds on is vigor. By far and wide, vigor is the best thing you can spend your diamonds on. You can obviously spend them on other things, but vigor is the number one. And I wouldn't really advise buying anything else, but obviously if you want to buy anything else, like the one diamond book, do some other stuff with them, obviously you can. But that's my advice. Vigor is the most important thing. It's very invigorating, to say the least. Okay, sorry, bad jokes. Obviously, I do need to add a lot of people for the mastery test. Yeah, it's just, yeah, you will see what to do. Another tips and tricks is upgrading a level a 1-star or a 2-star item to plus 12 or plus 6 or whichever plus it requires. It's way cheaper and you can recycle it afterwards and get to get a good bit of your red upgrading things back. So that's another advice. Just upgrade 1-star stuff, and that's the best way to go. About just making it like upgrade 3 things to plus 12 or gear, then you just do it with 1-star stuff and then you're good. And same goes for runes. It's way cheaper to upgrade level 1s or green, like gray runes. Then you can just feed them into something better. Just a little bit of tips and tricks there, I guess. If you have any other questions and stuff, yeah, then yeah, do what I said. Have a nice one, guys. Thanks for watching this guide, and I will talk to you guys next time.